Okay, so hello everyone, good evening. So today we will discuss all about the Adobe Photoshop. So are you ready? So let's start. Okay, so when you are going to edit photos class, what software app or application on your cell phones did you mostly use? Just like when you are editing your photos with your family, with your friends, okay, with your boyfriends, with your girlfriends, just like that. Okay, how or what application did you try to explore? Okay, so let's discuss one of the most popular application for editing. Okay, we have here Adobe Photoshop. Okay, so Adobe Photoshop class with its toolbox and functions. Okay, so learning objectives. So at the end of this session class, you should be able to first identify the different parts of Photoshop, interface layout, identify the different Photoshop shortcut keys, explore how Photoshop tools works, apply basic editing techniques, create a logo, and appreciate how Adobe Photoshop works. So let's start. So what is Adobe Photoshop? As we can see, it is a raster graphics editor developed by and published by Adobe Incorporated for Windows and Mac OS. Okay, so Photoshop files have file extensions such as PSD or .psd specifically. So which stands for Photoshop document. Okay, kung makita gani mo .psd class, that is Photoshop document. A PSD file stores an image with support for most imaging options available in Photoshop. So in Photoshop class, we can have this design. First, typography designs. Okay, so pwede maka-type, then that text can be used as your design. Okay, you can have your design based on your text. And then logo design, just like this one. We can have tarpaulin designs. So most of the stores sa mga tindahan class is in-demand jud ang Photoshop tarpaulin by using Photoshop. Then we have here photo enhancement from this image here to this one. Then gina-enhance niya class. Okay, so Photoshop enhances images. Okay, so photo manipulation. So pwede rin gusto niyo ganito yung image na gagawin ninyo. So lahat ng nai-imagine niyo online class is kayang gawin ng Photoshop. Even if you're not there, you can go everywhere by using Photoshop. So editing. And if ever you have there your application such as this one, so you can use your own unit sa inyuhan ng output design. So these are the Adobe Photoshop versions class. So from this icon to this one, and so on. Okay, so the next thing that we are going to discuss is all about the history of the Adobe Photoshop toolbar. Okay, so when we say toolbar class, this refers to this one. Okay, so ang mga tools na gigamit sa Photoshop. Okay, so muna siya ang PS1 tools, 2 tools, okay, 2.5, 3, 4, 5, 5.5, 6, 7, and so on. But the most in-demand toolbox or Adobe Photoshop version is this one, the Photoshop CC. Okay, so here comes the Adobe Photoshop interface. So Adobe Photoshop interface class. So number 1, kaning naka-enclose sa yellow. Okay, this is called the canvas, or this is where you paint or you draw your design. Okay, number 2, this one here, this is called the layers panel. Okay, so everything you place on the canvas will show up in the layers panel. So kung sa imong gina-drawing diri or sa imong gina-manipulate, so makita na siya diri. Okay, so for example, the background, this one. And then, number 3, this one here, is the Adobe Photoshop Toolbox. Okay, so muna siya ang toolbox sa Adobe Photoshop. Number 3. So, diretso na siya sa left side class sa inyuhang, kung kamo atubang sa inyuhang unit or sa inyuhang laptop. Alright. So, number 4, this one. Okay, toolbar here. Or a toolbox. Okay, toolbar. Okay, toolbar contains a wide selection of available tools in Photoshop, just like the tool brush or brush tool, the crop tool, the move tool, the zoom tool, and so on. Okay, so number 4, this is the menu bar. So menu bar contains all sorts of options and features. Okay, so nadara ang mga options and features. Number 5, this one, the options bar. Okay, kani. So, under the menu bar is the options bar. So, changes constantly depending on what tool you have selected. So, as you click on the other tools, this area changes. Okay, so when we click file, okay, this area changes. When we click edit, this area changes. When we click image, this area changes. So, kana siya nga naga-change class is the options bar. Okay, so let's proceed to Photoshop toolbar layout. Okay, so Photoshop tools layout. Okay, so under the move and selection tools class, we have here this one, the move tool, the marquee tool, the lasso tool, and the quick selection tool. And then under the crop and slice tools, we have here the crop and slice tool. So isa lang. And then the measurement tools tool, we have here the measurement tool, this one. And then for the retouching and repainting tools or painting tools, we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that is under the retouching tools. Okay, where you can have gradient, you can have history, brushing. So next tools, we have here bracket of tools, we have here the drawing and type tools. So drawing and type tools, we have here paint and point tool, text tool, this one, the path and direct selection tool, and the shape tool. And then the last one, okay, the navigation tools. We have here the hand and rotate tool, this one, and the zoom tool. Pag ganito siya, straight lang lahat, ganito ang order niya. And then, if dalawang column class, the first column and the second column, ganito naman ang makikita niyo sa toolbar. So again, we have here the marquee tool, the lasso tool, crop and slice tool, brush and patch tool, stamp tool, eraser tool, this one, blur, sharpen and smudge tool, pen and point tool, path and direct selection tool, hand and rotate tool, foreground color, this one, foreground, the editing mode, the screen mode, the background color. So aside from foreground class, we have also the background color, the zoom tool, the shape tool, type and text tool, dodge, burn and smudge tool, gradient and paint bucket tool, this one, history brush tool, the brush and pencil tool, eyedropper tool, quick selection, and the move tool. Okay, so this is all about the Photoshop tools. So let's proceed to the toolbar's hidden tools. Okay, so sa each toolbar class, na siya mga hidden na tools. Just click this small arrow on the bottom right corner, this one. So pag i-click ninyo ni siya, na ay ma-view ninyo nga lahi pa nga mga options aside from this display tool. Okay, so this marquee tool na pa na siya hidden, another marquee tool but of different shape na po. Now to view this one, just click and hold the icon, this one, or right click for Windows and control click for Mac. Okay, So that is the toolbar's hidden tools. Next naman class is how to choose one of the additional tools. Just click on its name and the list, and for example, we'll choose the elliptical marquee tool, this one. So elliptical marquee tool. So all of these are marquee tools, but of different shapes. So rectangular, elliptical, single row, and single column. So let's proceed to the default tool. So ang default tool class, mana siya ang wala naka-hidden. Okay? So dili siya hidden, but default tool. So ang makita dyan ninyo once you open your Photoshop. Okay? So the tool that's initially displayed in each spot in the toolbar is known as a default tool. Okay, so for example, the rectangular marquee tool is a default tool for the second spot from the top. But Photoshop won't always display the default tool. Instead, it will display the last tool you have selected. Okay, so if kani ang last ni mga selected tool from marquee, so kani po ang magawas. Now, let's proceed to move and selection tool. Okay, the move and selection tool, this one, are simply V. Okay, so please take note that an asterisk after a tool's name indicates a default tool, and the letter in the parentheses is the tool's keyboard shortcut. So, for example, this one, the move tool, kaning pinakauna nga tool class. So, pwede na ka mo click sa letter V, and then automatic mo click, mo select siya sa move tool. The artboard tool, or V. So, same selection sila sa move and the artboard tool. So, most likely, ang uban na Photoshop class wala na pining artboard tool. Let's proceed to rectangular marquee tool. Ang ihang keyboard shortcut is letter M. Okay, letter M, rectangular marquee tool, which draws a rectangular selection outlines, and press and hold shift as you drag to draw a square selection. Okay, so pag i-drag naman siya from here to here, so marquee tool. Mag-select lang ka og naka-square nga part sa imong image. Okay, and just like that. Next naman, we have here the elliptical marquee tool. Okay, elliptical marquee tool, then single marquee tool. Okay, so just press and hold. Okay, press and hold the your mouse. So, single column marquee tool. Use a single column marquee tool to select a single column of pixels from top to bottom. Next naman is the lasso tool, or simply letter L. So, with the lasso tool, you can draw a freedom form selection outline around an object. Next, polygonal lasso tool. Click around as an object with the polygonal lasso tool to surround it with polygonal straight edge selection outline. So, magnetic lasso tool, yan yung image class. This snaps the selection outline to the edges of the object as you move your mouse cursor around it. Next, object selection tool. So, pwede na siya. Just click the W. So, object selection tool lets you select an object just by dragging a rough selection outline around it. Now, let's have the quick selection tool, or this just W. Okay, lets you easily select an object simply by painting over it with a brush. Okay, so enable auto enhance in the options bar for better quality selections. Next, we have here the magic wand tool. So, Photoshop magic wand tool selects areas of similar color with a single click. So, the tolerance value in the options bar sets the range of colors that would be selected. Okay? So, kanay class kasagaran ako ginagamit pag magdali na jud siya. So, quick selection and magic wand tool. So, please remember. Next is the crop and slice tool. Okay, so gusto ka mag-crop, gamitin mo ang crop tool. Or perspective crop tool. So, ang iyang shortcut key is letter C. Used to crop an image and remove unwanted areas. So, uncheck delete crop pixels in the options bar to crop an image non-destructively. The slice tool, the slice selection tool, select tool, and the frame tool. But mostly, kanatong ginagamit na. So, next is on the measurement tool. So, eyedropper tool. Okay, this one. Tanan ni siya class eyedropper tool, 3D material eyedropper tool, color sampler tool, ruler tool, the note tool, and the count tool. Next is on the retouching and painting tools. Okay, so spot healing brush tool, letter J lang iyahang shortcut key. Okay, so quickly removes blemishes and other minor problem areas in an image. Healing brush tool lets you repair larger problem areas. Gain na sa spot healing, minor lang. The healing brush tool, okay, larger problem areas. Patch tool, with the patch tool, you can select free-form selection outline around a problem area. Then the repair it by dragging the selection outside an area of good texture. So that is patch tool. Next, content-aware move tool. This one, used to select and move part of an image to a different area. Okay, so automatically Photoshop fills the hole in the original spot using elements from the surrounding areas. Next, a red eye tool. The red eye tool removes common red eye problems in a photo resulting from camera flash. So if nakita niyo class na sometimes ang image is red iyahang eye sa subject, so pwede ta magamit og red eye tool. Next is on a continuation all about the retouching and painting tools. We have here brush tool, letter B ang iyang shortcut key. Okay, so primary painting tool is the brush tool, used to paint brush strokes on a layer and on a layer mask. Here is the pencil tool, another Photoshop painting tools. While the brush tool can paint soft edges, so the pencil tool always paints with hard edges. Alright, so let's proceed to color replacement tool. Okay, this one or this tool to easily replace a color of an object with a different color. Okay, so cambio online niya class. So using the color replacement tool, let's have mixer brush tool. So unlike the standard brush tool, the mixer brush in Photoshop can simulate elements of real painting such as mixing and combining colors and paint wetness. Alright. Let's proceed to clone stamp tool, letter S. So the clone stamp tool is the most basic Photoshop retouching tools. It samples pixels from one area of the image and paints them over pixels in another area. Okay, the pattern stamp tool, we'll discuss this one later. The history brush tool, the art brush tool, the eraser tool permanently erases pixels on a layer. Background eraser tool, okay, erases area of similar color in an image by painting over them. Magic eraser tool, the similar magic wand tool. Okay, so pareho lang siya function sa magic wand tool, that it selects areas of similar color with a single click. But the magic eraser tool then permanently delete those areas. So that's the difference. So again, continuation for retouching and painting tools, we have here gradient tool. Okay, so letter G. So draws gradual blends between multiple colors. So gradient editor lets you create and customize your own gradients. So pwede po ta have make ta or create a gradient tool na to. So, on gradient kasi class, you can choose two or more colors, not one. So, if paint tool ang gusto nimo class, gamito nimo is kung isa lang ang color so paint tool or the paint bucket tool. But if two or more colors class, you can use the gradient tool. Okay, paint bucket tool if isa lang a color again. This one is two or more. So 3D material drop tool. Okay, blur tool if ipa-blur nimo ang image. Sharpen tool if gusto nimo nga mo-sharp pa maayo ang inyong photo. Then the smudge tool smudges and smears the area you paint. It can also be used to create a finger painting effect. So finger painting. So dodge tool class, paint over areas in an image with dodge tool to lighten them. So this one, remember to lighten them. And then the burn tool, okay, it will darken the areas you paint over. Okay, so ang dodge is to lighten the picture or the image. The burn tool naman will darken the areas you paint over. Let's have here the sponge tool or paint over areas with sponge tool to increase or decrease saturation. Okay, color saturation. Let's have on the drawing and type tools. We have here pen. Okay, pen tool or simply letter P sa iyang shortcut key. Okay, so Photoshop pen tool allows you to draw extremely precise paths, vector shapes, or selections. Okay, so muna siya iyang family, freedom pen tool. Okay, curvature pen tool, add anchor point tool, and delete anchor point tool. So, sa class, so when you select some points, you can use this one kung gusto niyo mag-add pa another selection or another path. So, delete anchor tool if ganito, maka-minus and plus. So, that is addition. Add anchor point tool. Okay, so under the drawing style, we have here convert point tool, horizontal type tool. Okay, so just letter T, known simply as the type tool in Photoshop. So you can use the horizontal type tool to add standard type to your document. If pag ganito ang pag-type niya ng text, that is for horizontal type tool. If ganito naman, that is vertical type tool. This one. Okay, the vertical type tool adds type vertically from top to bottom. Okay, so let's have vertical type mask tool. So minsan lang ito, but this is really important to know all about Photoshop too. Okay, the vertical type mask tool and the horizontal type mask tool. Path selection tool, we have here letter A, yung shortcut key. So use path selection tool or the black arrow in Photoshop to select and move the entire path at once. Okay, so that is path selection tool. Okay, we have also direct selection tool. Okay, rectangular tool. Okay, so another siya shapes. So under shapes class, iyahang keyboard shortcut key is letter U. Okay, so that rectangular tool draws rectangular vector shapes, path pixel shapes. Or press and hold shift as you drag to force the shape into perfect square. So gusto yung perfect square class, just press and hold the shift. So remember this one. Rounded rectangular tool. Okay, just the same as this one. Rounded lang siya, wala siya edges. Okay, so let's proceed to ellipse tool. Okay, draws an elliptical vector shapes, paths, or pixel shapes. So simply, if you want to create a perfect circle again, you must press and hold the shift. Okay, then drag. Triangle tool. Okay, polygonal tool. These are still under the U, okay, U shop. The line tool, okay, draws straight lines or arrows, use stroke color and way to control the appearance of the line. So custom, if you want to custom shape tool, you use the still U, but nani siya sa options tool, which lets you select our custom shapes. So you can choose from the Photoshop built-in custom shapes or create your own. So let's proceed to navigation tools. So tatlo. You have here hand tool, the rotate view tool, or the zoom tool, or Z. Okay, so when you want to zoom in, just click Control, then plus. And then if you want to zoom out, click Control, then minus. Okay, so here is the foreground and the background color. Okay, so colors. So just click the foreground. This one is the foreground. So if you click this one, appear ang katong box, daghan na siya mga colors. Then you can select from those. And then this one is on the background color. Just click and select color of what you like. So that's it for the tools class. So if you have their questions or queries, you can just click on the comment box. Thank you. Now let's proceed to the application of Photoshop.